Chapter 49. Previously Izanagi now thought to herself using the remains of her chakra and the last of her eyes. The wound on her chest healed and her eyes closed from chakra exhaustion. She slowly drifted away, carried away by the current. She didn't know if she would even survive, but she felt she had to try. Moments earlier, Itachi was hoping from tree branch. He was returning from Konoha due to his talk with Naruto a couple days ago. Itachi was invisible, concealed by the shadows of the night. With his body healed and back to perfect condition, he could use his full speed. Itachi placed a foot on a tree branch and launched himself forward at the top of his speed. He narrowed his eyes to block the air from drying up his eyes. He looked right only to spot a massive column of black smoke rising on the horizon. Since he had time, Itachi decided to investigate. It was night, and a fire in the middle of the night would definitely stick out, especially one of this magnitude. Valley of the End. What the hell happened here? Itachi mumbled to himself in disbelief. The valley was completely ruined. The two statues of both Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara were now nothing more than broken rock on the ground. But what caught Itachi's attention was the massive forest that stood blazing in the middle of the valley. Gigantic trees, big as the statues themselves, were burning with white-hot flames. Chunks of trees snapped, hitting the water with large splash sounds. Itachi's activated his Sharingan only to see chakra residue in the air. There was a battle here, and it wasn't long ago. Itachi jumped down from the valley and into the water, keeping his distance from the fire raging on. Smack. Itachi kicked something accidentally and looked down. An orange mask with a swirl pattern revolving around the right eye socket. Tobi's mask, Itachi stated to himself as he bent down and picked the mask, surveying his surroundings for the possibility of finding the masked man's identity. Itachi kept walking forward, analyzing the state of the valley. It had to have been a great battle for the valley to be left in such state. He looked down at the river and noticed a small trail of blood flowing downwards with the river. Anyone else would miss it as it was so small, but not the Sharingan. Itachi hopped into the water and began walking down the river, following the current and the blood's trail. Itachi walked a few miles until he arrived near a small clearing where the river's flow had decreased significantly. Itachi looked around until his eyes landed on a body lying down by the shore. Itachi walked towards the body. Just from the distance he could tell that this person would most likely be dead. The clothes were completely torn, he could see burn marks on her arms and legs, and bleeding cuts all over the remaining of the body. As Itachi was closing in, he took time to note her clothes. The body had an attire consisting of a dark blue top with black gloves, black boots, black shorts, but what really caught his eyes was the Uchiha clan symbol on her back. /N, check profile for image. An Uchiha? Itachi asked to himself in disbelief as he suddenly rushed the body. He arrived near the body and bent down, placing 2 fingers on her neck. She's alive, Itachi thought as he detected a very faint pulse. He gently turned her around and his eyes widened at the person lying down right in front of him. Now Itachi breathed out. Naruto had told him that the Uchiha clan was still alive, but it was one hell of a coincidence for him to simply stumble upon one Uchiha just days after his talk with Naruto. Itachi moved her body further into the land and laid her on the ground, facing up. Itachi placed his fingers on the middle of her chest, right above her heart, and released a small electric discharge. It was a technique taught to every single shinobi in the Corps and one of the basic medical ninjutsu. A small static shock directly into the heart to jumpstart a body if need be. Nao's body gave a small jerk as she started stirring. Itachi watched as Nao slowly opened his eyes only for a hollow white to appear instead of the black color he remembered. Did she sacrifice her eyes? Itachi mused in thought as he heard some gurgling sound coming from Nao. Who Nao said as she started coughing. Are you? Nao managed to get out only to hear a small chuckle. What mess did you get yourself into this time, Nao-chan? Itachi replied, smiling down at his former comrade. There was quite a story behind these two. Nao's eyes widened when she recognized the voice. She slowly turned towards the voice but saw nothing but darkness. Itachi-kun, Nao said, slowly chuckling until she began coughing again. Itachi moved Nao so that she laid perfectly flat on the ground. Don't worry, I will take care of you, Itachi said, smiling, not that Nao could see it. Itachi went towards his pocket and removed a single 3-pronged kunai. Without a moment hesitation, he stabbed it on the ground, disappearing in a yellow flash with Nao in tow. Moments earlier, Senju compound ##. I finally did it, Naruto yelled in joy of success. Naruto quickly sealed everything and swirled towards the Senju compound. Hinata, Hashirama, Tobirama, Mito, Minato, Kushina, and Gaara. All of you in the kitchen in 5 minutes, Naruto yelled as he also ran towards the kitchen to set up everything. One by one everyone walked towards the kitchen, although it weren't just the ones Naruto called as everyone was curious what the ruckus was all about. Dragons, Naruto said, getting the attention of his group. Front and center, Naruto said, and watched as the members of the group stepped forward. I have a gift for all of you, Naruto said, grinning as he took out 8 scrolls and tossed one to each member of the group, keeping one for himself. What's this? Minato asked, curious about this gift. Unseal it and you shall see, Naruto replied, and Minato shrugged. Minato kneeled on the ground and unwrapped his scroll. Kai, release, Minato said as he slammed his hand on the scroll. Once the cloud of smoke had dissipated, on the ground laid a single egg. Although this wasn't some ordinary chicken egg. This egg shell was completely white and it was slightly bigger than a football. At least the omelette will be enough for all of us, Jiraiya joked, and everyone laughed until he saw the look of horror in Naruto. You gave us a big egg, Minato said, disgruntled. He was hoping for something a bit more, well, more for such a big fuss. While it is an egg, it's so much more than that, Naruto cryptically said and watched as Minato glared at him. Just channel chakra into the egg and think of yellow. It will take a considerable amount, so don't worry, Naruto explained, and Minato did just that. Minato placed his right hand on top of the egg and concentrated. Minato's hand started glowing blue and everyone watched with anticipation what would come from all of this. 5 minutes later and Minato was already starting to sweat from all the chakra the damn thing was eating. Suddenly the egg stopped absorbing chakra and Minato retracted his hand, wiping the sweat from his forehead. Now what? Minato asked towards Naruto. He did as Naruto said, but nothing was happening. Give it a few moments, Naruto said, and Minato nodded, sitting down. How could such small thing almost empty him of his reserves? He had a lot of chakra, not much as Naruto, but enough to put some Kages to shame. As Minato raised his head from being tired of waiting, the egg started shaking, breaking everyone from their boredom. Everyone watched as the egg started shaking even more and clawing sounds could be heard coming from inside the egg. A strange yellow pattern started forming around the egg shell, making everyone focus all their attention of said egg. Here he comes, Naruto said, and everyone's breathing hitched as a piece of the egg shell flew away and what seemed to be in yellow claw stepped out. The egg shook once more and suddenly exploded, sending pieces of his shell flying everywhere. Everyone covered their face so they didn't get hit with the shrapnel. Once they uncovered their faces, everyone's jaw dropped at the creature standing in the middle of the kitchen. He resembled some form of reptile, like lizards and, in some relation, snakes themselves. This creature's body was completely covered in yellowish shiny scales, with 4 legs and long tail. The creature had a long snout and an impressive jawline filled the razor-sharp teeth. He had eyes yellow as well with a black vertical slit like those of snake, but what really stood out was a pair of wings that protruded from his back. Is that what I think it is? Jiraiya yelled, pointing towards the creature in the middle of the room, who seemed to react to his outburst and gave him a toothy grin, showing his razor-sharp teeth and an impressive pair of fangs. A dragon, alive and in the flesh, Naruto said, pointing towards the dragon, who seemed to get what was happening and simply rose to stand on 2 legs and spread his wings. And is your partner from now and until the day you die, Naruto said, pointing towards Minato, who had a shocked face. Bibu, but Minato tried to argue, but Naruto quickly shut him down. No buts. He is key to your chakra and will only answer to you. He isn't your slave or pet, he's your partner from now on, so treat him with respect, Naruto said, and the dragon jumped into the air and landed on Minato's shoulders. He coiled around his neck until he began to lick Minato's cheek. I guess he's alright, Minato said, scratching the head of the dragon and making Naruto nod. His name is Yellow. A fitting name for the mighty Kuroi Senko, Yellow Flash, wouldn't you say? Naruto snickered and watched as the dragon growled slowly before laying his head down to probably sleep. I thought that dragons didn't exist, Temari stated, looking at Yellow. They do now. They will take time to grow, Naruto explained. How big will they get? Tsunade asked, palling when she remembered the legends. Big as the Bijan, Naruto simply replied as he crouched and unsealed his own egg. Everyone paled at the thought of having 8 dragons, the size of mountains, just simply strolling around Konoha. They were broken from their thoughts when they heard another an egg crack and they turned around to see Hinata scratching the chin of a purple dragon. Growl. Tsunade turned her head again, this time towards Naruto, who was also petting a big silver dragon. Tsunade and the rest of the Senju compound, with the exception of the 8 dragons of the leaf, paled when they had cracks all over the place. Not even 5 minutes later, there were 8 dragons on the kitchen running all over the place, like some kids on a sugar rush. "Oh man, I want one too," Kankuro said as he kneeled in front of Naruto. "No can do. Limited edition only," Naruto chuckled. "Please see," Kankuro whined. "Please see," Silver mocked from the ceiling. Everyone looked up to see Silver with his claws dug onto the ceiling. "Oh, mine can already talk," Naruto said with sparkles on his eyes. "And it looks like he got your traits, personality-wise," Hinata said as she watched the Silver mock poor Kankuro. "Things you should know about your partners. They have chakra just like you, and they bear the same affinities you have so they can work properly with you in combat," Naruto explained, and everyone nodded. "Another thing. Should any of them die you will live on, but if you die, so will your dragons," Naruto said in a serious voice. The dragon were their partners and were bounded to them by life. "Where the hell are they going to live?" Tsunade yelled, making everyone stare at her. "The Senjiness is strong in that one," Mito thought to herself, sighing. "Do you think we can set them up in the summon world?" Tobirama asked, making everyone ponder. "Hey Fox," Naruto thought to himself. "Yeah," Kurama replied as he yawned and stretched, popping a few joints. "Is the summon realm all occupied?" Naruto asked, making Kurama raise an eyebrow at his question. "Why do you ask?" Kurama asked, surprised by the question. Naruto simply looked to the ceiling. "What the hell are dragons doing here?" Kurama yelled. "I created them. I read a book about reptiles and another one from Legends," Naruto replied, grinning and making Kurama shake his head his disbelief. "There are a few lands unoccupied that they can use without much trouble," Kurama answered, and Naruto proceeded to forward the information to Tobirama, who was already devising a small seal in the form of a tattoo to summon their partners into battle should they need them. "We got company," Naruto said as he backflipped into the middle of the room and slammed his hand on the ground. In a flash of yellow, Itachi and Now were standing in the middle of the room. "I thought you were supposed to come to me," Itachi said as he found himself on the Senju compound. "I may trust you, Itachi, but not far enough to jump towards you and into a possible ambush," Naruto replied. "What the?" Itachi said out loud when he came face to face with 8 dragons who were standing just inches away from his face, staring at him. His Sharingan flared to life, and that was until he noticed the rest of the room. Senju Hashirama, Senju Tobirama, Namikaze Minato, Uzumaki Mito, and Senju Kushina. Bibububu, Itachi tried to come out with the right words, but his brain seemed unable to process the events. At least he didn't faint like Tsunade and Hiruzen had to back in the day. "What can I do for you, Itachi?" Naruto asked, breaking Itachi's line of thought. Itachi looked away from the Senju brothers and back into Now, who was breathing harshly. "She won't last much longer. I can feel her life force slipping away," Naruto said as he took a good look at the uchiha in Itachi's arms. "I need your help once again." "I need you to heal her," Itachi stoically said. "Bah, a dead uchiha is a good one," Tobirama simply replied, making Itachi frown. "What did I tell you about having prejudice about the uchihas?" Hashirama grumbled. "Besides, it's Naruto's choice if he wants to heal her or not," Hashirama explained, and Tobirama scoffed but nodded nonetheless. "Why should I heal her?" Naruto asked towards Itachi, who remained silent and with his head down. "She has been working for Tobi all along. She blew up a hospital in Kiri and almost killed Hinata-chan," Naruto explained. "She is in this state for fighting Tobi. You should see the state of the Valley of the End, everything was destroyed, even Madara's and his statue," Itachi said, motioning to Hashirama. "They destroyed my gorgeous statue," Hashirama said as he hung his head. "What do you think, Kurama?" Naruto asked towards his partner. "It's your choice, Naruto," Kurama replied, seriously wondering what Naruto would do. "Even so. One good deed doesn't atone for a lifetime of wrongs," Naruto said. "Don't make me beg," Itachi said in a low voice, making Naruto's eyes widen. He was willing to actually beg for Naruto to save her. "Why would you lower yourself to that extent just to save her?" Naruto asked, curious, but Itachi remained silent. "You love her? After all this time?" Naruto asked like it was the most obvious thing on the world, and Itachi just nodded. "Always," Itachi answered. 1. She was with me from the very beginning. We were born a single month apart. We were childhood friends and rivals at the same time. We graduated from the academy together, got into the same team, took the Chunin exams together. I fell for her because she treated me for the person I was. To her, I wasn't the son of the head of the Uchiha clan or the prodigy of the Uchiha clan. To her I was just, Itachi. Itachi sadly said, and Naruto remained silent. I guess we are more alike than I thought, Naruto replied, chuckling and making Itachi look at him funny. I too fell for Hinata-chan because she was with me from the beginning and because not matter what the village said, she never treated me as the demon or Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. To her I always was just Naruto. Besides, there was nothing I wouldn't do for her, Naruto explained and started walking forward until he was near Itachi, who held Nao's head on his lap. Naruto placed 2 fingers on Nao's forehead. Naruto took a deep breath and opened his eyes to display his silver eyes with concentric rings around the pupil. Naruto's fingers started glowing and Itachi watched as Nao's breathing became more stable. Her bones were reset to their proper locations and even the cuts on her skin just sizzled away. Naruto got up and stepped back as Nao started stirring. Itachi-kun, I'm feeling much better. Where are we? Nao asked as she slowly rose to a sitting position. Itachi-kun, is it? Naruto thought to himself, chuckling. He knew deep down that he had made the right choice. He's almost ready to meet him, Kurama chuckled to himself before going back to sleep. We are in Konoha, more specifically in the Senju compound, Itachi replied and watched as Nao suddenly stiffened and jumped to her feet. She opened her eyes, but only darkness greeted her. What happened to your eyes? Hinata asked, curious about the hollow white. I know that voice, Nao said, looking towards Hinata direction. You are that Hyuga I fought in Kiri, Nao said, getting into a defensive stance. She was in enemy territory. It's Senju now. Naruto-kun has asked me to marry him, Hinata said, but Nao didn't seem much concerned about that. Relax Nao-chan, Itachi said, placing a hand on her shoulder and making her instantly relax. You are among friends now, Itachi said, and Nao huffed. Hold still, Naruto said towards Nao as he approached her and put a finger in each eye, above her eyelid. Relax, Naruto said, but Nao remained stiff as a board. Is he going to take my eyes? Nao thought, fearful. She was in the wolf's den and blind to make it worse. Naraka path, Naruto said, and Nao was shocked when she heard Naruto say the exactly same words that Nagato had used to heal her eye when she fought Hinata back in Kiri. Open your eyes, Naruto said, and Nao slowly complied. Her eyes' lids slowly rose and she was greeted with the face of Senju Naruto, but his eyes were not the Sharingan, they were the Rinnegan, glowing at full power. You have the Rinnegan, Nao muttered out loud. No thank you, no nothing, just you have the Rinnegan. I'm hurt, Naruto joked, making Nao smile slightly, easing the ambient. That's Naruto right there. All serious 1 second and joking around the next, Kushina thought, smiling. Of course, Nao said, slapping her forehead. You are both Uchiha and Senju. It's obvious that you would have the Rinnegan. I wonder how Fugaku still hasn't thought of that yet, Nao muttered out loud. So it's true, Itachi sadly replied and making Nao turn around. Everyone is still alive? Itachi asked and Nao nodded. Who is Tobi? Naruto asked, turning Nao around to look at him. Nao gulped as she stared at Naruto's Sharingan and knew that lying probably would be a bad idea. Uchiha Fugaku, Nao replied, squirming under Naruto's gaze. Wasn't he the head of the Uchiha clan? Naruto asked and everyone nodded. Another simple Uchiha with delusions of grandeur, Tobirama grumbled. I knew I recognized his chakra from somewhere when he attacked with the Kyuubi 17 years ago, Minato replied, and for the first time Nao looked around to see just who exactly was with her. Why Yandame-sama, Nao said in shock and gulped when she saw who stood by his side. Senju Hashirama and his brother Senju Tobirama, Uzumaki Mito, and Senju Kushina. How? Nao asked towards Naruto, who smirked. You should know the power of the Rinnegan extends beyond life and death, Naruto simply replied. Of course, Nao said, smacking her head again, you are the perfect vessel for the Rinnegan. The Uchiha and Senju DNA in perfect balance. It figures that you could use it without any adversities, unlike Nagato, Nao said. Now, why don't you tell us everything you know about the Uchiha clan and the Akatsuki? Naruto asked, and yet again Nao felt that it wasn't a question she could refuse. ## 1 hour later, ##. That's very useful information. Thank you Nao, Naruto replied and Nao nodded before turning towards Itachi. What now? Nao asked and Itachi looked at Naruto. Nao turned around to look towards Naruto as well. Smack. Itachi gave Nao a chop to the neck, making her fall forward. Itachi caught her before she fell and slowly lowered her to the ground. "The hell, Itachi?" Naruto asked as he watched him knock now unconscious. "I'm going after my brother. Can you make me a promise?" Itachi asked, looking at Naruto and making sure he understood the seriousness in his voice. "If I don't make it back." Itachi trailed off as Naruto understood what he meant. "We will take care of her like family." "You have my word, Itachi," Naruto replied, and Itachi nodded before shining away, heading towards the Uchiha hideout where he would meet with Sasuke and decided his fate. "So he was Itachi," Tobirama said, scratching his chin. "I guess he wasn't so bad for an Uchiha," Tobirama replied, making everyone's sweat drop. Was Uchihas all that he thought about? "Erosen, you know what to do?" Naruto asked, and Jiraiya nodded. "I will contact my spies," Jiraiya replied, and everyone went back towards their dragons. Few days later, Uchiha hideout, ##. If you wish to kill me, resent me, hate me, and survive in obscurity, Sasuke remembered as he approached the Uchiha hideout where Zetsu had told him Itachi was. Run, keep running, and cling to life. Then one day, come before me with the same eyes I possess, Sasuke thought as his Manjikyu flared and he continued his path. So you have come, Itachi said with his eyes closed. Itachi was sitting in some kind of throne and was looking straight towards Sasuke, who stood in his front. Sasuke was wearing the traditional Uchiha clan outfit, dark blue vest with black pants. He had a blue belt in which he had a straight single-edged sword strapped into. On the back of his vest, he bore the Uchiha fan. That Sharingan, Itachi said as he started to open his eyes. How much can you see? Itachi asked as his eyes fully opened to reveal blood-red eyes with 3 black tomos. How much I can see, you ask? Sasuke rhetorically asked as he stopped walking, facing Itachi. With these eyes, I see your death, Itachi, Sasuke replied, looking Itachi dead in the eyes. My death, huh? Itachi asked out loud. You are still arrogant, Sasuke. You shouldn't underestimate your opponent, Itachi advised as he leaned back, closing his eyes. Then make it happen, Itachi said as he disappeared and, in a blur, he was beside Sasuke with a kunai drawn. Sasuke followed his movement with his Sharingan and quickly turned. Sasuke placed a hand on his sword handle and brought his blade to parry Itachi's kunai. Both weapons clashed with a clang sound as both fighters struggled for victory. Sasuke broke the struggle and jumped back, going through hand seals. Katan, Bukakyu no Jutsu, great fireball technique, Sasuke said as he unleashed a massive fireball lighting up the room. Itachi bent slightly as he pulled several shuriken from his sleeves and hurled them towards Sasuke through the fireball. Itachi jumped to the side to avoid it. Sasuke was forced to cancel his jutsu when several shuriken came towards him. The fireball had obscured the vision of him. Sasuke's Sharingan glowed as he tracked every single shuriken and started blocking them with his sword. Not a single movement was wasted, it was like he was dancing. When Sasuke had finished dodging every single shuriken, Itachi was suddenly upon his face and kicked him in the stomach, sending Sasuke flying into the wall. Sasuke crashed into the wall and stumbled to the ground as he began coughing. Sasuke rose his head to look for Itachi only for him to be punched and pinned into the wall by the same person he was looking for. This is the end, Itachi said as he brought his fingers towards Sasuke's eyes. Your light is mine, Itachi said as ripped out one of Sasuke's eyes, making him yell in pain and clutch to his now empty eye socket. The curse seal on Sasuke's shoulder began activating, his body gained a brownish color and some kind of wings sprouted from his back. Suddenly the whole world started cracking, like some mirror that had just been broken. All the damage to the room simply disappeared as both Sasuke and Itachi were standing in the same position as before it all began. It useless, Itachi, Sasuke said laughing. I am not a little kid anymore. My eyes can easily see through your genjutsu, Sasuke stated as his Sharingan glowed. You really are competent, Itachi said, getting up from his throne. But for now, I will take your word for it, Itachi said until he looked towards Sasuke's Sharingan. Foolish little brother, I told to come to me only when you had gained eyes like mine, Itachi replied, walking down the stairs until he stood but a few feet away from Sasuke. And I do, Sasuke said, chuckling darkly as his Sharingan started spinning. I killed the only person I ever cared for just for these eyes, Itachi, and, with them, I will kill you for betraying our family, Sasuke said as his Sharingan turned into his Manjikyu. His eyes had 3 intersecting ellipses that resemble an atom model. Foolish little brother, Itachi said as his own Sharingan started spinning and becoming his Manjikyu Sharingan, a 3-sided pinwheel. The problem was that Itachi's eyes didn't stop spinning, even after reaching the Manjikyu stage. Itachi's Manjikyu kept spinning and Sasuke watched in horror as his brother's eyes started changing into an unknown pattern. With one large chakra pulse, Itachi's eyes stopped spinning and Sasuke was gawking at the new pattern. Itachi's Sharingan had 3 intersecting ellipses and above that, a 3-sided pinwheel. It was like a cross match between Sasuke's and Itachi's own Manjikyu. A/N, Itachi's Eternal, is Sasuke's from canon. How? Sasuke asked fearfully as he involuntarily took a step back. How can you have the Eternal Manjikyu Sharingan? Sasuke asked shakily. How you ask? Itachi rhetorically asked, sighing. It was a gift, from Naruto. Itachi simply replied, making Sasuke's eyes widen in disbelief. You swapped eyes with him? Sasuke asked, in shock. It doesn't matter what I did, Sasuke. I'm righting my wrongs as of now. Itachi as his Eternal started glowing. Kukukuku, do you mind if I join the party? Both Sasuke and Itachi were surprised by this new voice as neither of them felt another chakra signature nearby. Both of them turned to the location of the new voice only to find Orochimaru of all people, leaning by the doorframe and hungrily looking at both Uchihas. Sharingan, Sasuke said as he and Itachi took notice of Orochimaru's eyes. They were blood red with 3 black tomos spinning around the pupil. How do you have the Sharingan? Sasuke asked, gritting his teeth, but was met with mocking laughter. Answer me, snake, Sasuke yelled, but Orochimaru only chuckled. Amaterasu, Sasuke said as Orochimaru exploded in black flames. Still with the hot temper, I see, Sasuke heard and turned around to see another Orochimaru sitting in the throne. Sasuke looked back to the black flames only to find nothing but mud on the ground. What is it you came for, Orochimaru? Itachi stoically asked. He didn't care how Orochimaru got the Sharingan as long as he didn't interfere with his plans. Nothing much, Orochimaru said as he began walking towards both Uchihas, licking his lips in anticipation. I've come for my new light. Orochimaru chuckled until he took notice to Itachi's new eyes. Oh, you already have it, Orochimaru said, surprised by Itachi wielding the Eternal. Enough, Sasuke roared, making Itachi and Orochimaru turn towards him. I will kill you both for disrespecting the Uchiha clan, Sasuke snarled as his began going through hand seals. Keton, Goryuka no Jutsu, Great Dragon Fire Technique, Sasuke said and he unleashed several dragon-shaped fireballs towards their enemies. Orochimaru's eyes started spinning as he copied the jutsu and easily countered Sasuke with an equally powerful jutsu. So this is the Sharingan, amazing, Orochimaru chuckled to himself when he felt the Sharingan automatically copy the jutsu. Orochimaru made a single tiger seal and looked straight towards Sasuke. Juinjutsu, Cursed Seal Techniques, activate, Orochimaru said and Sasuke was immediately on the ground screaming in pain and clutching to his neck. Sasuke, Itachi said as he suddenly dashed towards Orochimaru, who smirked and waited for him. Orochimaru easily predicted Itachi's punch and tilted his head to the side, catching Itachi in an arm lock. A snake appeared behind Orochimaru and quickly bit on Itachi's neck. Itachi dispersed in a murder of crows. The crows started circling Orochimaru as they turned into shurikens, heading straight for Orochimaru from all directions. Orochimaru jumped high into the air, attaching himself to the ceiling. In a flash, Sasuke was upon Orochimaru with his hand sparkling. Chidori, Sasuke yelled as he thrust his hand forward. Sasuke's hand went right through Orochimaru's heart only for him to dispel into several snakes who fell to the ground. Tisk, Sasuke scoffed as he looked down to find Orochimaru's and Itachi's location. Amaterasu, Orochimaru said as black flames appeared in the ground in front of him. Futon de Tapa, Great Breakthrough, Orochimaru said, pumping his lungs with chakra and releasing a gust of wind that carried the black flames across the room. Orochimaru launched his jutsu and waited for the results. However, he didn't need to wait much as 2 colors rose in the background. Both Sasuke and Itachi were using their own Susanoo to block the black flames. Sasuke's Susanoo as deep purple and wielded a bow and arrow. Itachi's Susanoo was strong orange, wielding a shield and a saber. He has the Manjikyu as well, both Sasuke and Itachi thought. Yasaka no Magatama, Yasaka beads, Itachi said as another pair of arms sprouted from his Susanoo and began preparing ethereal orange beads to throw. Sasuke's Susanoo formed an arrow. Both attacks were launched at incredible speed towards Orochimaru, who jumped into the ceiling, breaking the stone and escaping the room. The room exploded as the attacks collided with the walls. Both Susanoos dropped as Itachi and Sasuke jumped outside of the room, following Orochimaru. As Itachi and Sasuke appeared on the roof, Orochimaru flexed his arms forwards as snakes came from his sleeves and easily entangled both brothers. Itachi dispelled into a murder of crows and Sasuke summoned his Susanoo to break free. "You've grown strong, Sasuke," Itachi said, looking at his brother, who scoffed and simply jumped to the side as the tree warriors stood equal lengths from each other. "Katan, Gukkaku no Jutsu, great fireball technique," all three warriors said at the same time. Tree fireballs clashed in the middle as all tree shinobi struggled for the upper hand. Sasuke closed his right in concentration before opening it and unleashing black flames to consume the existing fire. As the black flames disappeared, Sasuke's hand sparkled as he slammed it on the ground. "Chidori Nagashi," Sasuke said, a streak of lightning left in his hand heading towards Itachi and Orochimaru. Both warriors jumped back to gain some distance from Sasuke, who smirked. Sasuke looked up towards the sky and began laughing as thunders could be heard and heavy rain started falling. The heated air from all the fire jutsus and black flames had created a storm. The gathering of clouds had brought what Sasuke wanted, lightning. Sasuke's hand sparkled as he sent a lightning beam towards the sky, making light up the clearing. "This is bad," Orochimaru said to himself as he knew very well what was coming. "So he managed to recreate Naruto's Kirin Jutsu," Itachi thought to himself as his eyes started glowing and preparing for summoning his shield. "Raiten, Kirin," Sasuke yelled as he brought his hand down and the skies roared. A blue dragon appeared in the sky. The dragon rocketed towards the ground, targeting either Itachi or Orochimaru or even both. "Kuchios, Sunja Rashomon," Orochimaru said, slamming both hands on the ground as three massive defensive walls appeared in front of him to block Sasuke's jutsu. "Susanoo," Itachi said as the dragon connected with the top of the building and, in a flash of blue, the building exploded, blasting chunks of rock everywhere and leveling the battlegrounds to nothing but rubble. As the smoke started clearing, Sasuke jumped down to ground level, taking deep breaths due to chakra usage. Sasuke scowled as he took notice that Itachi had summoned his Susanoo to defend himself, rendering his lightning jutsu useless. "You damn brat," Orochimaru snarled as he dug himself out of the rubble. The walls he had summoned were enough to protect him from the initial blast but not from the secondary explosion. Orochimaru's clothes were ripped apart and he was bleeding from several places. "I see you managed to copy my jutsu after all." All tree warriors standing on the clearing slowly turned their heads when they heard this new voice. The new person had long blonde, waist-length, spiky hair with fangs that framed his face and partially covered his right eye. He also had 3 distinctive whiskers marks on each cheek. His blonde hair swayed with the wind, giving him a more menacing look. "Just great, the QB is here," Orochimaru thought to himself, gritting his teeth. He had come for Sasuke's or Itachi's eyes, but he had never expected for Sasuke to have grown this much, and now Naruto had joined the picture. "Long time no see, Naruto," Sasuke chuckled and Naruto took in the person who had addressed him. "Blood red eyes, check. Arrogant and general aura of superiority, check. Duck butt shaped hair, check. Emo and brooding, check. That's Sasuke, alright," Naruto thought to himself, analyzing Sasuke. Naruto's Sharingan left nothing unchecked. Medium S-rank, Naruto concluded from his observations. Sasuke had grown stronger than he had expected. "Care to explain to me why you knocked me out?" Now asked sweetly towards Itachi, who gulped as he dropped his Susanoo. "What the hell are you doing with the Senju, now?" Sasuke asked towards Now. "Fugaku tried to kill me, so I joined their side," Now said, pointing towards Itachi and Naruto. Zetsu, Naruto called out of nowhere and got confused faces from everyone, that is, until Zetsu showed up. "You called Naruto-sama?" the white Zetsu asked as he rose from the ground, besides Naruto. Everyone's jaw dropped when they heard the way Zetsu had addressed Naruto, of all people. "You are to tell nothing to Fugaku of what occurred in here, are we understood?" Naruto asked and Zetsu nodded. "Of you go then," Naruto said and Zetsu sank back into the ground. "Naruto," Itachi called out, getting his attention. "What is she doing here?" "You gave me your word," Itachi said, narrowing his eyes. "I promised that I would take care of her, not that I would stop her from chasing you," Naruto said, shrugging his shoulders, making Itachi's eyes twitch. "Both of you leave." "This is my problem to solve," Itachi replied as his Susanoo flared to life once again, making Sasuke and Orochimaru prepare themselves. "It's my problem too. I made the wrong choice back then and I intend to fix it right now alongside you," Now huffed as walked and stood side by side with Itachi. "Shall we do this like the old days?" Now asked, smirking and making Itachi chuckle. "Itachi is laughing," Sasuke thought in disbelief as he looked towards his older brother. Back in the day, a simple smile was the best he could get from him. Itachi dropped his Susanoo as his eyes reverted back to the standard Sharingan. Now grinned as she stood side by side with Itachi, just like the old days. Both Uchihas had their normal Sharingan blazing at full power and looking towards Sasuke and Orochimaru. Like the old days? Itachi asked, turning to Nao, who grinned. Like the old days, Nao replied, nodding her head as both Uchihas disappeared from view. I guess I'll stick around and watch, Naruto muttered to himself as he jumped to safety and simply observed the battle from afar. Orochimaru shed his skin to heal any damage he had suffered from Sasuke's right Tenjutsu. He looked around as his Sharingan tracked both Itachi and Nao, but, even then, they were nothing but blurs. He had yet to grow accustomed to his eyes. That was the reason as to why he could only use the Amaterasu flames as of now. Orochimaru's eyes shifted to his left as he looked towards Naruto, who was calmly sighting on the nearby walls, observing with battle with calculating eyes. Orochimaru heard Naruto say he would only watch, but shinobi aren't known for their honor. Orochimaru blinked as Nao appeared right next to him. Masai no Ken, fire punch, Nao cocked her fist back and slammed it into Orochimaru's stomach. He buckled in pain just as Nao kicked him away, sending him sailing through the air. Katan, Ryuka no Jutsu, Fire Dragon Technique, Itachi said, unleashing a torrent of fire towards the flying Orochimaru, engulfing him in flames. Orochimaru tumbled into the ground, consumed by flames. I got you, Sasuke yelled as he took opportunity of Itachi's jutsu. Sasuke appeared behind Itachi with his sword drawn, ready to impale his older brother. Clang. Sasuke's eyes widened when his sword was blocked by Nao's. She smirked and held her grip as Sasuke pushed forward in a battle of strength. Itachi burst into crows as both Nao and Sasuke disengaged and jumped apart. Enough, Orochimaru yelled as he dropped to the ground and opened his mouth. Madara no Jin, formation of 10,000 snakes, Orochimaru said as countless snakes started emerging from his mouth. Thousands upon thousands of snakes that rose high into the sky. All of them opened their mouths to reveal a sword at the tip. Susanoo, Itachi, and Nao both said as two towering ethereal samurais appeared. Their chakra-spiked sabers appeared in their arms and they began slicing the snakes into nothing. Amaterasu, both Uchiha said as a gigantic wave of black flames rained down on Orochimaru's attack. The Susanoos disappeared as everyone looked for Orochimaru. The snakes had all been disintegrated. Chidori Iso, Chidori Laser Spear. Out of nowhere a lighting blade was shot from Sasuke's wrist, heading straight towards Nao. Itachi bumped Nao out of the way and got pierced right through his shoulder. Bastard, Nao snarled as she ran towards Sasuke. Itachi stumbled to the ground as he clutched to his bleeding shoulder. I've been waiting for this opportunity, Orochimaru chuckled darkly as he rose from the ground in front of Itachi. Tsukuyomi, Orochimaru gasped as Itachi locked eyes with him, placing Orochimaru in his strongest genjutsu. #Tsukuyomi world #. The world around Orochimaru shimmered out of existence and was replaced by a sea of red and a black sun. Orochimaru found himself in a new world, with Itachi standing right in front of him. This again, Orochimaru chuckled at Itachi's pathetic attempt of stopping him. This genjutsu no longer works against me, Orochimaru said. Then break it, Itachi simply replied. Kai, Orochimaru said as he flared his chakra, but nothing happened. He flared his chakra once again, but the illusion didn't even waver. He took a step back when he noticed Itachi calmly walking towards him with his eternal spinning. Even if you now possess the Manjikyu Sharingan, you shouldn't underestimate the power of an eternal. If you think that all it does is preventing blindness, then you are mistaken, Itachi explained, still walking towards Orochimaru, who was suddenly strapped into a cross. The eternal Manjikyu has granted me one final power, Itachi said, smiling, while Orochimaru just stared in horror as several blades rose from the ground, created from nothingness. With the eternal, my illusions can achieve their final level. With my new eyes, I can turn any injury I do to you into a very painful reality, Itachi said, smiling, and Orochimaru's eyes widened. My strongest illusion, one that can trick the brain itself into thinking that the injuries are real and have them inflicted in the physical body, the highest level of illusion one can achieve, this Orochimaru, is my Shinko Tsukuyomi, true Tsukuyomi, Itachi said as he picked up a blade. 2. There is a downside, unfortunately, Itachi said, sighing, and Orochimaru seemed somewhat relieved. I can't hold the illusion for long like I could with my original Tsukuyomi, so let's not wait any longer, Itachi said as he swung his blade. #, back in the real world #. Both Orochimaru and Itachi were frozen, looking into each other's eyes, without even blinking. Suddenly, a deep gash appeared in Orochimaru's cheek, letting blood leak out freely. Just as things couldn't get any weirder, Orochimaru's right eye exploded in a cloud of blood and flesh. Interesting, Naruto thought as he watched several cuts and gashes appear on Orochimaru's body out of nowhere. Now and Sasuke were engaged in a heated taijutsu brawl. Sasuke Susanoo could only brace himself against the onslaught of Nao's fire taijutsu, who apparently could melt almost anything. "Mai, dance," Nao yelled as her arms burst in black flames. "Korwahano no Mai, dance of the black flame," Nao said as her Sharingan started glowing and she dashed forward, jumping to the side as a purple arrow flew by and crashed into the ground. Sasuke coughed as his chakra levels dropped and he was forced into a single ribcaged Susanoo. He had been fighting for hours and his chakra levels were running low, while Nao had arrived just moments ago and had plenty of chakra to go around. Sasuke was forced to kneel as Nao punched the Susanoo, leaving behind her black flames as they began to eat away his shield. Sasuke's Sharingan was glowing as he frantically searched for his opponent. Sasuke caught a blur and braced himself as Nao materialized herself in front of him and kicked him. Sasuke's Susanoo cracked as he sent flying and crashing into the ground, making a crater. Nao watched as Sasuke stumbled to get up, his Susanoo dropping and blood leaking from his mouth and other wounds on his body. Arg! Nao shifted her attention away from Sasuke and towards the origin of the scream. She looked towards Itachi as he took deep breaths to regain his breathing. Standing in front of Itachi was Orochimaru with one eye destroyed and several deep gashes all over his body. Orochimaru's right arm laid unmoving on the ground as he clutched to stop the bleeding. Nao smiled at Orochimaru's state as she approached Itachi and holstered him up by the arm. "If you think this is the end of me, you are wrong," Orochimaru snarled as he vanished in the wind. Nao and Itachi turned towards Sasuke, who still remained on the ground. "What now, Sasuke?" Itachi asked as Sasuke lifted his head towards his adversaries to display black eyes. The Sharingan had been disabled due to lack of chakra. "Arg!" Sasuke screamed in pain as Orochimaru appeared behind his back with a sword on his mouth. Orochimaru pierced through Sasuke's chest, right through his heart. "I'm not leaving here empty-handed," Orochimaru screamed as he slithered around Sasuke and brought his hand to his eyes. Rasengan. In a flash, Naruto was beside Orochimaru, slamming his orb of silver chakra into his chest. Orochimaru was blasted away from Sasuke before he could steal his eyes. He crashed into the walls and simply slid to the ground, unmoving. Enter Naruto Shippuden OST 2 Track 23, Senya. Sasuke, Itachi said as he hurriedly approached his younger brother who now laid on the ground, bleeding from his wound. Itachi kneeled beside his brother, placing his hand on top of Sasuke's chest to stem the blood flow. Itachi looked at Sasuke, who was coughing and taking quick and deep breaths. Why did it have to end like this?" Itachi sadly asked. I don't know," Sasuke coughed a mouthful of blood before continuing. "I just wanted my family back. Cough, I hated you most of my life for killing our family. Then I learned that they were alive, you betrayed them and I vowed to kill you," Sasuke said, looking away. "I just wanted my family back. I wanted it to be like it was before the whole thing happened." Cough, with the fangirls yelling at how awesome I was, with Sakura punching the blonde idiot, Sasuke said, smiling and making Naruto chuckle. "And with you as my big brother," Sasuke said with a lone tear streaming down his face. "Foolish little brother," Itachi said, bringing his forehead to Sasuke's. "I will always be your big brother as you will always be my little one," Itachi said, and Sasuke smiled. "I'll see you around, Sand," Sasuke said as he let out his last breath and closed his eyes forever. In the end, he was just a lost kid, Kurama said as Naruto watched the end of one Uchiha Sasuke, a friend and an enemy. "What now?" Nao asked as she turned away from Sasuke and towards Itachi, who seemed to be looking towards the horizon. "You know you can't return to the Akatsuki with Tobi being Fugaku," Nao said. "Let's go home," Itachi, Naruto said, approaching the man and placing his hand on his shoulder, healing his wound. "Your real home," Naruto said and watched as Itachi sighed but nodded. "Katan, fire style," Naruto said as he kneeled down beside Sasuke and placed a hand on his chest. Sasuke's body started glowing orange until he burst into flames and in just a few seconds, he was nothing more than dust. "He's gone," Nao yelled as she ran back to Naruto and Itachi. She was after Orochimaru but there was nothing left of where he crashed. "Orochimaru is meaningless as of now. He will just crawl back to his lab and try to repair his body," Naruto said, explained and motioned Nao to come towards him. Let's go home, Naruto said as he touched both Uchihas. May you find happiness in the afterlife, knowing you didn't find it here, Itachi thought, looking at the sky, as Naruto and both Uchihas disappeared in a flash of yellow, leaving behind the battlefield. Name, Shinko Tsukuyami, True Tsukuyami. Rank, S rank. Requirements, Manjikyu Sharingan. Class, Offensive. Users, Uchiha Itachi. Hand seals. Description, it's the same illusion as the Tsukuyami, although with Itachi bearing the eternal, all damage Itachi inflicts in his illusion is actually done to his opponent. Someone had requested for me to place the stats regarding the power of my characters, so here they go. I'll try one character per chapter unless I forget. All stats are in reference to Naruto's power level, so 1 means equal level, 2 means double the power, 0.5 means half the power / skill, and so on. Hyuga Hinata, in reference to Naruto. Taijutsu, 1. Ninjutsu, 0.1, means Naruto 10x stronger. Genjutsu, 0.1. Intelligence, 0.7. Strength, 2. Speed, 0.3. Chakra levels, 0.1. Senjutsu, 0.3. Fuinjutsu, 0.2. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kaioshin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Wilnet Duverne. Ben Phillips. If you liked the content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll stay here until next time.